Kyle, is that a Hot Pocket?
I wish it was.
What are you eating?
It's a shit made by Velveeta.
Kyle, we're
Velveeta-
professionals.
Oh nope. Nature Valley biscuits.
How do you confuse
With
Nature
almond
Valley with
butter.
Velveeta?
No, Belvita.
Oh.
Belvita.
Yeah, not
I was
Velveeta
thinking
cheese.
mac and cheese too. I was thinking.
Okay.
Kyle,
All right.
we
I
are
was thinking
professionals.
Velveeta
If
breakfast
it-
bars.
A mac and cheese granola bar. I'm all about it.
All right. What a
Little
way!
crumblies on top.
What a way to roll into the show. So,
Doing it live.
Velveeta shells and cheese. My name is James. You're listening to the 3D podcast, and in the studio, as always, I'm alongside Kevin. Say hello.
Hey.
And by Skype, we got Kyle.
There's a paper on the tube.
And guest in the studio with us today, we got Adam. Say hello.
Velveeta granola bar. No one better steal that idea.
You heard it here first. Heard it here first.
All right. So before we get into today's show, we've got to say thank you to Root Shock for allowing us to use Many Paths as the theme to our show. Check out Root Shock at their website, rootshockmusic.com, on Apple Music, Spotify, and all the major music outlets. And also thank you to Sugar Free Beats for supplying the beats that we're using within the show for transitions and such. Follow him on Instagram and SoundCloud at Sugar Free Beats. Kyle, handle ours.
Yeah, the
My inflection was
Instagram.
weird.
I'm sorry, what?
My inflection was weird on that.
Yeah, you threw me off with it.
I kind of was trying to.
Caught me really off guard. Anyways, Instagram. We are nope. Instagram 3D
Insta-dang.
podcast, all spelled out. Twitter is We Are 3D.
Okay.
Yep. And also Spotify.
We're good at this. And you're
Yeah.
going to tell them to subscribe on...
I still have food in my mouth, to be honest with you.
Said we're
Spotify.
professional, damn it.
Is where you can find our playlists.
Okay, so
Excellent.
and also everything at wearethreedeep.com. You can find tour dates for the bands we mentioned and also information on other projects that we have going. So in today's episode, our topic for today is soundtrack.
Kyle can't speak.
Well, yeah. But soundtrack for a bar fight. Mm-hmm. And before we get into the songs that would be a part of this soundtrack, have any of us been in a bar fight?
Negatory.
Found it really funny that you invited me here for this episode. And
Well,
this is our topic.
I mean, anecdotal stories are fun when we talk about near bar fights that involved Adam and myself, where Adam was just like de facto security for me. Yeah, I mean, forgive my language, but I believe the correct term is hockey goon. In tow was always a benefit in situations where, for example, a female tried to kick me in the crotch, and I caught her foot, and she fell down on the ground, leading her posse to think that I was messing with her. And yeah, so I haven't actually ever been in a bar fight. I've been in several fights in my life. Dozens.
Most of the time,
mean-
no one actually messes with me because of my stature.
Because you're so small.
Because I'm so short. I'm 5'3".
I don't think it counts as a fight, but I have watched you get grabbed by the throat by a bouncer and shoved out onto East Street in Rochester, downtown
Yeah,
Rochester.
and was that because of your hat, or was it?
Oh, it was because of me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was because of me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
James
So-
got in trouble for somebody else's actions? No.
Oh, yeah. No, that never happens.
Nope.
But also, that was Adam's reputation for a
I've
long
never
time.
seen someone pull out the throat throw move before, and that was amazing. It was like, well, who's the wrestler that grabs him by the throat and just...
Well, I mean, the Big Show with
yeah.
the choke
It was
slam.
basically a Big Show throw into the street, which was even more amazing.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yep.
So Kyle, you haven't been in a bar fight either?
No, I've been kicked out of a bar twice, but both times was for falling asleep in the bar. So
Oh,
So we're a dangerous bunch.
we
too
are.
many toots, too many peeps.
I mean, when in the vein of the bar fight action, what we're talking about really is anything that we relate to a bar fight when
Yep.
we think of the song. Whether it's that we think that the bar fight could occur to the tune of the song, or just that
It gets you amped.
yeah, it gets you amped, or it just fits the theme. Lots of reasons why you're going to hear songs from this list. Kyle, you're going to be the first one to go here. But before we even do a song, have you guys like seen many bar fights? I know I've seen a couple that have been in the street in my lifetime,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think I've ever seen people fighting inside of a bar.
Well, Yeah, I mean, you
We're
see
just-
them, but they're broken up pretty quick, whether
Yeah.
it's by bystanders or whatever.
Yeah,
else.
most of my experience would have been in college and at a particular bar in
yeah.
Ithaca called Mooney's, which was otherwise known as the Moon Shadow Tavern, which we all just called Mooney's. That was like the trashy bar and that everyone went to. And
Sponsor
everything
us.
was just, they had like 8 bouncers. They had like 8 bouncers, so like everything got broken up before anything could happen. So I guess people know what they're doing. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think not the only. I feel like I've seen more girl fights outside of bars than
Fair
I've
enough, yeah.
seen
Girl fights,
guys
Then
fighting.
guys fighting, yeah.
Yeah, which isn't what I've expected in my life to have,
Hmm.
have that be the experience. But that's just kind of how it shook out, I guess.
How about you, Kyle? What have you seen?
I'm actually surprised. I don't think I ever have seen a true bar fight. And given all of like the towny bars near where I grew up and where I spent a lot of time, I'm actually surprised I've never really seen any.
So I can't believe that we almost failed to mention this on the air, but Kyle and I were almost in an outside of bar fight on Halloween this past fall when gentlemen.
We did.
When a gentleman caller became angry because Kyle was defending Megan's honor, and just so that we make everyone aware, if you would like to see how we were dressed, it's on the Instagram account. And we were both wearing black bob wigs, red scarves, mustaches,
Yellow sweaters?
and holding a light up sign with perv on it.
Hey, as you know, one of my 3 songs would have been perfect for that scenario.
Okay, yes.
So we're good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this guy just came up to us and tried to fight us on the street, and we were in a situation where if that had happened, I would have kind of wanted someone to have filmed it just because I think it would have been hilarious to watch us get our asses kicked on the street in those clothes.
We were
And
both pushed.
Yes, we were pushed.
And
we were
we were
pushed.
laughing in his face as he was doing it.
Yes.
So it might not have been the smartest decision, but it took me totally by surprise.
Would you?
And I'm sure you too.
Yeah.
Because it came out of nowhere.
Right, because
We were like joking with a guy, and then all of a sudden he got really serious.
So would
This guy
you
was
like
totally gone? By the way.
try to do coordinated WWE moves, or would you just start throwing haymakers? I want to know how James would defend himself.
Oh, well, that's the thing.
Because you have a nice repertoire of like WWE knowledge, so I
Yes.
feel like
Yes,
real.
But given my fighting experience at a young age, I have a lot of punching. We'll say
Acumen.
acumen. That might be the right word. I don't have a lot of power, but I can take a punch. He's
feisty.
He's a grappler. He's more of a grappler.
biter.
I like to use the lucha libre
Hair
style.
puller.
Lots of flips and twists.
He would have hopped over like 3 cars and then used one of them as like a high ropes move. Come in with a people's elbow or something.
So, all right. Well, then let's get to that first song. So, Kyle, you're the first one to go. So, what do you got for us to add to the soundtrack for a bar fight?
All right, so this song, the name of it's Gunslinger by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm really happy you chose this part of the song.
I've never heard the song, but I'm not someone. I feel like Adam, you would know that song.
I'm an Avenged man. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
He's an Avenged man.
A7X boy. All right.
It's on, it's
Yeah,
on
so,
multiple playlists.
So go ahead there,
this,
Kyle.
This song it starts out actually the first like minute and a half of this song is it's almost country, believe it or not, from that little sample you heard. But all of a sudden it starts to ramp up like in 5 seconds, and then that drop that James just played is what it comes out as. So the first time I heard this song, I was riding my bike along the Erie Canal, small little pathway,
15 miles.
and I'm pedaling,
At least.
pedaling. Yeah, at least 180 miles. It wasn't a big ride.
Minimum.
And I was
He was
riding,
doing an
and all
Iron.
of
He
a
was doing an
sudden,
Iron Man. It's fine.
I had my iPod Nano in my pocket. And,
Yeah.
I was pedaling to this country song, and I was like, "Huh, this is weird for Avenged Sevenfold." And then all of a sudden, this comes on, and I was like turning it up because I was like, "Something's gonna happen. I have to hear it." And all of a sudden, it was my headphones were all the way up, and it freaking dropped, and I almost spilled out and into the Erie Canal, which would have been
And then you fought the Erie
Catastrophic.
Canal. punch the ear canal in the face.
Yep, and that's what happened. But from that day forward, I was like, I could get in a fight to this song once
Yeah.
it drops.
Yeah.
Like
That
the whole
song's a
first
banger.
minute and a half, I'm getting prepped.
Yeah.
Getting in the mode.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it drops, and I'm like, let's go. And I just picture like a 300 scene where you're just running at each other.
It's just Hot Topic music to me still. I don't. I'm not. That's not a dig. Look, I'm pretty
They're
sure
better than that.
You can cut the tension in the room.
a lot of the clothes that I own, of the wrestling persuasion have come from Hot Topic. Not the shirt I'm presently wearing, but they, I believe,
Plus
sold
your
it there.
earrings.
Oh, would you say my earrings?
Yeah, yours.
So there is one person here that has their ears pierced, and it's not me.
Not me either.
No, definitely not you.
Is
Took
the-
those bad boys out a
Kevin.
long time ago. Went through an adult moment. They're gone now.
Are we going to start a bar fight here during the podcast? Because that's what it sounds like is about to happen.
Possible.
So that means I made the perfect first song. choice.
Exactly.
I mean, Adam might get rowdy off of that Pura Still that he drank. In case you,
more like pure swill.
yeah,
but-
listen, if you're listening and you don't know what I just said, I said Pura Still, and it's a non-carbonated alcoholic beverage, kind of like the
Thank you.
Trulies and all the other seltzer type
But
things.
flat.
But yeah, it's just coconut water
Flat.
and
It's-
alcohol and flavor.
It tastes like stale water.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Had to wash it down with High Life.
It's a major upgrade.
Damn good.
Champagne and beers.
Damn good.
Never would have thought I'd hear High Life as an upgrade from anything. But
Yep.
here we are.
Here
I
we
had
are.
to
Yes.
wash it down
Indeed,
There we are.
indeed.
with a highlight.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll keep it going then. My first pick. This was the first song that came to mind when I thought about like just the idea of a bunch of dudes fighting in a bar. Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's like an anthem of angry
Yes.
fighting.
Like just the angry Boston fuck in me wants to just like punch things everywhere whenever I hear Dropkick Murphys. I saw these guys live in concert at this New York State Fair, just like we were talking about last episode, this past summer, and the whole concert was like an hour and a half. Like the first like 85 minutes, it was like everyone was jamming out, everyone's having a good time. Then the second they played that as the encore, every white dude in the crowd just like got so fucking amped, and like I can just imagine like someone breaking a bottle over someone's head and getting into a fight like with this song starting exactly. Like this is what I imagine in like a movie as a bar fight starting.
A lot of people named Jimmy in that fight,
Yep.
and that is, my name is James, but not Dropkick. Dropkick Murphys.
Even in the name.
Yes, anthem of the fighting, Boston thing. That actually is one of the more recent times that I was close to being in a fight was in Boston. Coming out of the TD Garden after a Spurs and Celtics game, and the Spurs had lost by I think 2, but still on the subway because I was wearing a Tim Duncan jersey. Was very close to having people trying to fight me, not because I was jawing at them, because literally at that point I was just trying to get home safe. But it was just brutal, and that was the only time I've been in one of those major sports cities where I had that kind of run in. But it's close call.
I enjoy that song, Kevin.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, nothing wrong with the song. Get you amped.
It's a
Yeah.
good song.
Get you amped.
It's a
Yeah.
great
But
song.
like I just
Well-
imagine just a bunch of broken bottles.
Like a lot
Let
of
me
rowdy
be
drunk
the
people.
contrarian.
Really? What are you gonna say here, Kyle?
I hate the city of Boston.
Yeah, I'm with yeah, that too. Yeah, it does remind me of Boston.
And 90% of it has to do with sports. It was 100% up until the time that I visited Boston, and then everything else about Boston filled the other 10%. So yeah, no, really, I hate the Celtics the least out of all the
I mean, the
Boston
Celtics
teams.
aren't that good this year, are they?
They're like fourth in the
I
East
don't
right
even
now.
know. Who cares? It's NBA. It's
They're
the
all
worst
right.
sport in the world.
Right.
And then
Hot takes.
obviously the
MLB,
Bruins
come
are
on.
awful.
Isn't
I
that the
grew up
song
a
when the
diehard
Bruins score a
Yankees
goal?
It might be.
Yeah.
I think it
Probably.
is, and
Yeah.
that makes me. I might remove my.
Say
Thank
it
you.
like
I
the
don't like
song.
the song anymore. Actually,
I grew up a Yankees fan, so the Red Sox are just
So like
freaking
what
garbage.
What you're telling me is my pick
And
has
then-
already
then
made
there's
you
the
all
Patriots.
angry,
I've had a swing of emotions. I liked it, and now I don't.
and now you want to fight. Yeah,
It's-
I get
but
it. Yep.
it's made
So-
me think.
Keep going, Kyle.
No, it's just the Patriots are the last Boston. They're not even a Boston team.
I feel like they also
Steroids,
play this song when they
but-
score.
Probably. Because they're all assholes.
Oh, there we go.
And my favorite team's probably going to sign Tom Brady, so that's great.
There you go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to Adam here for his first pick. Or was it you? Or is it you, James?
Oh, I got next.
All right, James got next.
I got next.
next.
So, my first pick is actually going to be the Hives. I hate to say I told you so. And my reason for this one is because the guitar is so frantic that I feel like it's punching music.
Sure. Punching music.
That's really my only reason. A lot of their music from the early 2000s felt like it was something to fight to. I was thinking of a couple other songs, Main Offender, and then, Walk Idiot Walk. There was a whole bunch of them that I was like, wait a minute, these are all kind of the same. Like, you can just punch to the beat. Just keep punching to the beat. But that's the Hives music like that. I wish hadn't gone away. I feel like there's
this early 2000s.
Yeah, but they've still been making stuff, and I do think that they've got recent music, but obviously not as popular as it was when it first came out. That rock sound that was just all over the place then just kind of went away.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yes.
And I wish it would come back because they took it, and I want it back.
I think it's a good pick, man. I think it's good to. It fits the vibe.
All right,
It's like a Ford. That
Yeah,
was
there
like
you go.
Ford Taurus pick. It was like an okay pick. I'm okay with that. You know, like the beige Impala. It was okay. You know, it's okay.
Oh, Beige Impala.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
okay.
It's good. I can't, make fun of it, but it was okay.
Okay. All right. Well, Adam, what do you got?
Well, I got to preface this. So when you told me, the bar fights, I laughed because I figured that, that's why I was coming on this show, because I'm synonymous with like fighting and
Except I've never seen you in a fight.
aggravating
And
people.
I know with the hockey you were the goon.
My 2 front teeth are fake. Yeah. So, anyways,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
One
either.
of mine is.
they're veneers.
Wow, I didn't know that either, Kyle. Holy shit, learning all sorts of
So
stuff.
I kind of broke it down. So I take like a scientific approach to this.
Okay,
This
all
is-
right, what's
I
your
really
data?
I sat there and I thought about it for a
Yep,
while.
yep.
So there's different kinds of fights,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
Not all fights are the same.
Yep.
You got the I want to kill you kind of fights, which are kind of scary. You got the
Getting some aggression out a
You
little
got like the bar fights where it doesn't even make sense. Like,
Right.
yo, you picked up my beer or you took my seat, and like nothing makes sense.
Yep.
Then you got like the insanely drunk and like just people stumbling over each other, kind of funny fights.
Sure.
And like there's different categories of fights.
Sure.
So I broke it down to different categories of songs. And I guess my first song here is, I guess just kind of like a mayhem type of fight where it's just anarchy, kind of a wild fight. So I did number 2 by Blur.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I just envision when when this song hits and when he goes woohoo, I just envision some guy breaking a chair over some other guy's head, like a wooden chair
In slow-mo?
a
In
wood,
slow-mo?
whatever speed you want,
Whatever
but
speed,
like
okay.
just like a wooden chair where all the pieces of the chair just kind of explode and go everywhere, and then just everyone starts throwing haymakers and going crazy.
I imagine like some spraying beer is happening.
beer flying,
Yeah.
beer bottles flying, just a wild fight, and that just I think of that song in fights are that's
You got that kick in the beginning, man. The woohoo.
the woo.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a song for chaos.
Yes.
And I guess
Songs for chaos.
it's I think meant to be a celebration song,
This
but
is our first song off our new album, Songs for Chaos.
right.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right. Well, going back around over to
pick.
Kyle for the
thank
next
you.
one.
Thank you. I think I had the winning pick that round. I just want everyone to know that.
Winning pick.
Yes, I won that round. This is a round. We're playing rounds here. I won. Adam won. Everyone else 0.
James -1.
So, Rage Against the Machine is who I'm
Oh.
going to pick here.
Oh, yeah.
And their name alone.
Yep, there it is.
And I'm
Brings
pissed,
it.
I'm pissed at you for taking this one
I was
because
going to pick this one too.
we had spoken at length with Kevin about the Matrix and
Oh,
music
God,
for
yes.
In Too Deep.
Yep.
And about how mad I was that when you get to the third Matrix movie, that was the only one that didn't have Rage Against the Machine at the end. And this song would have been perfect, and I don't, to this day, understand why they didn't use it.
Probably because that movie's terrible.
Yes.
The third
Just like
Matrix
James's
is
first pick.
awful.
Oh,
Jeez. I was joking about the bar fight, but it's gonna happen. now.
We're going to have a fight right here in the studio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The bar fight in the
and I get
studio.
to just watch
Yeah, he just watches from California.
while Megan sleeps next to me.
Who are you rooting for?
Oh, Adam for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn
He's the guest.
Thank you.
Makes for good
Yeah.
content.
Whatever.
I guess so. Anything else about that, Kyle? About that song?
That's a great
killing
pick.
is in the name of.
Yes.
So
That's a great pick, and
I
I was
kind
gonna
of just
pick
gives it away.
I was gonna pick that song, and I'm slightly mad, and it would have been weird if we picked the same song. So,
yeah.
but I think it was a solid pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pat myself on the back over here.
All right. So for my
Your
next,
way, Kevin.
What?
Is it your turn?
yeah, it is me. So my
You
next
guys-
one.
You guys are doing a great job of directing
not be
traffic.
another
over
one.
Yeah,
Austin,
exactly.
so-
I'm just waiting. Like, what am I? Okay. So my next
my
pick,
best.
I'm gonna pitch this as I imagine this song. It's a little more up tempo, a little more upbeat. It is "Saturday Night Is All Right for Fighting" by Elton John.
Okay.
Now here's why. I imagine this as in a movie. If it would be like the scene when everyone's going out, right? Like that's what the lyrics are about. It's about going out and trying to pick a fight. And I imagine the characters are just pre-gaming, like in that first part where like the piano's playing and everything. And then as soon as like the actual chorus comes in, that's when we have like a one big long take of them going into a bar and like getting into it everyone they can find, right? Like I imagine like a long take of just everyone smashing bottles over like a continuous shot. You know what I mean? That's my pitch for this one as a bar fight song.
Yeah, I never knew that the song was even aggressive. The only part of the song I know is that Saturday.
Literally,
Saturday.
the
That's all
song
I
is
know.
called "Saturday Night Is All Right for Fighting."
Okay.
That's what it's called.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I would like to know the statistics on most fights per what week night or whatever night of the week has the most fights.
If
on
you
it.
if you think it's not Saturday, it's like Wednesday.
I would say that Saturday is probably number one.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, it's most people probably between Friday and Saturday night. Imagine everyone's planning on recovering on Sunday. So, but yeah, like when this song is like really up tempo, and I think it would get people amped to get in a fight like that.
I'd say so. What I'm
Yeah,
coming
if a
with.
bunch of 60-year-olds were about to come fight. they would
I was
like
gonna say
that.
it. I was gonna say
Geriatric
thank you,
fight.
Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you.
What I'm going to come with next, I think, is a more obvious one. For those that don't know about this, it's also used for sampling in a Christmas song that they did. Twisted Sisters, "We're Not Gonna Take It,"
Oh yeah.
was used for "Oh Come All Ye Faithful."
Wait, what?
They have a Christmas album where it's basically the same.
It's just this song, but oh come on.
Oh
you faithful.
come all ye faithful. Like it's to
That's
this
weird.
though.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Well-
so weird song. Twisted Sister, to my knowledge, Dee Snider, the lead singer, is someone that was always straight edge, which is not what you would expect out of that band. Cool fact.
Knowledge
That's all.
drop.
Yeah. So Dee
Cool
Snider
facts.
with an I. Dee Snider with an I.
Snyder.
In D. No.
D-E-E.
Adam's trying to work that one
I
out.
had no idea what was happening in my brain.
It's actually Die Snyder.
Yeah. So
The Snyder. The.
all right. So over to Adam for your second pick.
Okay, so remember, I'm categorically
Different type
speaking
of
here.
fight? Different type of
this
fight?
So this entry here is you are staring at a gigantic muscle-bound boyfriend's girlfriend, and he wants to kill you.
Okay.
And I chose bodies. And this is like you're running for your life because you're completely outmatched. And the guy's just like, like the juggernaut, just running through walls after you, and you're pretty much done, and you
And
need
like
to run.
it's right when that drop hits, like
Yeah.
the
And like innocent bystanders are suffering,
I
and
love
that's
it.
the bodies that are
I love
hitting
it.
the floor.
I imagine the like when these whispering let the bodies hit the floor is right when you make eye contact.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
uh-oh.
yeah. You're like staring at something you shouldn't stare at, and then you stare at the eyes of the villain, and it's you're done.
So what specifically
facts-
did you do to piss him off?
I mean, I haven't. I'm a good boy, so I don't know what you're talking about.
The facts are that song was actually used as the theme song for WWE SmackDown at one point.
I think I remember that actually.
So yeah, it's applicable to the fights for sure.
Absolutely.
But Drowning Pool, I think their lead singer didn't their lead singer pass away?
Another knowledge drop that I am unaware of.
I'm
of his depth.
pretty sure they ended up switching their band up at one point over 10 years ago.
Downer.
Well, come on. It's,
Are you trying? You're
Dra-
look,
really-
I
really?
was
You're gonna
about
get on
to
me for
win
being a
round
downer
2, and
for
you're literally
Drowning
trying
Pool.
to sway the audience
You're-
because I was
you're-
winning
you're
round
making a
2.
claim
And you're like, well, you know,
that
he died,
I'm
so
being
it doesn't
the downer
technically count. And,
for
you know,
Drowning Pool.
Like, just saying, I was.
It's a happy song.
I think I won that round, and you just tried to downplay it.
You can try
It's
for
like-
number 3. I think you have a better shot.
Number 3 is going to be a good one. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited.
really
for mine
excited
too.
for number
I'm excited
3.
for mine too.
Well,
All right,
well, I have
God.
an upper for everyone.
Oh,
after
good. All
James
right.
is freaking bringing everyone down after round 2.
Barry Manilow?
It's Barry Manilow, baby.
I figured that was going to be James'
Close.
second pick.
At the
Close.
Copa. Copa.
It's The Darkness. And Do You Believe in a Thing Called Love?
Oh, I love the
Wait.
darkness. What a good pick.
You framed it as a question. He's not
I'm
saying,
asking
"Do
you.
you believe in a thing called love?"
It's a question. What do you mean? Do you believe in a thing called love? How? What is that? A statement?
Yes, that's what he's saying in the song. I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah, no.
Then why is the song called Do You Believe in a Thing Called Love?
It's not.
Every time someone says
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so I just wrote it down wrong.
I love the darkness so much. Yo,
All right.
Kyle, Darkness is a great band.
Anyways, what I was gonna say, I feel like you're pissed. Something happens. Maybe like an Adam walks in and says something to your girlfriend,
some
And-
meathead.
and you go to the bathroom
goon.
to try and just regain composure, and then you come out and this song's playing, and you're like, I do believe in a thing called love, and then you come after this motherfucker and you punch him right in the nose.
Right in the schnoz. No, wait. I imagine it's like you kick him right in the balls, and that's where the high voice comes from. Like the.
Exactly. You nailed
Exactly.
it.
Another band, that was same era as the Hives. That's another band that's like the whole thing just went away. And
Glam rock is it's
were
gone.
they a one-hit wonder? I think they were.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
yeah, they had a couple other singles that had radio airplay.
the place. What
I think
Thank
One Way
you.
Ticket was
Thank
the
you.
biggest one after that.
The
but-
the other song I really know is from "Growing on Me," which is one of my favorite songs.
yeah, that's a good one.
And you know where I know that from? The School of Rock soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. There we go.
Yeah, that's where I know that from. So,
Well, that tracks. It was
Yeah.
on the soundtrack of School of Rock,
which is from I think 2003,
and it is a
So-
rock song.
Yep, there you go.
It all makes sense.
Really
Right.
awesome music video here for this song. Too.
Really?
Check it out.
Oh, like with the flowing hair and the yeah.
He's got like
Nice.
a deep V.
It's basically
the
a U.
man V.
Deep
The man
V.
V.
It is.
Yeah.
It's basically a U. At
I don't
that
even know how
point.
it's strapped onto his shoulders. It must be Velcro.
Yeah,
patches or
probably. It's probably just taped on. There.
Isn't it like a suspenders
It's like a
type
unitard.
thing? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something. Yeah, with like flaring out pants though.
Right, right.
And that makes you want to fight, huh?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right. I guess that'll bring it to me then. So this one I actually stole from James. Why Can't We Be Friends by War. I got two scenes for you in my head. Either a full-out brawl is happening while this is happening, which is hilarious to me, or this is where everyone just actually is like, you know what, fuck, this is stupid, man, and just like everyone like lines up and starts singing this. It's either the actual end of the fight or the apex, one of the two.
Yeah, the song was used by The Simpsons for the theme song for Homer when he was boxing against the parodied version that they had of Mike Tyson. They called Drederick Tatum.
Oh, yeah.
Tatum came out to Red Man's Time for Some Action, and then Homer came out to this. And I feel like it was the perfect fit. The storyline in the show was that Homer was just getting beat up and that he could take a
He could
punch.
just take it, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he wouldn't get knocked out or
Yeah.
even knocked down. So yeah, he was just standing in the ring getting punched, and so that was what he came out to. So,
I just love the thought of a giant brawl with this playing in the background.
It's a great.
just
It's like
great.
kind of like an ironic
Exactly.
kind of I like
Exactly.
that. I like that a lot.
That's War, right?
Yeah, it is by War. Yep.
Yep. So a little bit
Neat
less
band.
on the
Neat band.
aggression, a little
There are
less
other
on the
songs that are
aggression.
good, too.
What I've got as my third pick was one that kind of went with my. I feel like I've seen females fighting more than I've seen the guys fighting in the bar. So my song was "Rapture" by Blondie.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I didn't even know this
Talk
song
about a knuckleball.
as the Blondie version. I didn't even know the song really until it was a KRS One song that had sampled it.
I don't
and
think I've ever heard
that
this
was
song
in like
in my life.
1997.
I literally don't think I've ever heard that
Really?
song.
I
in
think
my
I heard this in Forever
entire
21 once.
life.
You can pretend it was only once, but
Oh, it was definitely 10 times.
all right. So then, Adam's esteemed third pick is coming now.
So this is my most proud pick.
Can I- your
Can I just hit it?
No.
Okay.
Your steamy pick? This is your steamy
So-
pick?
But I want to commend Kevin because James, you were close, but Kevin and I kind of had similar views on our third picks. We want the comedy side of fights.
Yes.
This can also be applied to the angry big boyfriend running through walls to kill you.
Sure.
I wanted to think of another funny song that you would fight to. So I'm not going to introduce it. We'll just play it.
Well, yeah, it's.
Yes! Yes! I was close with Looney Tunes. I was really close. I guessed Looney Tunes earlier. I was so close.
Before the show, and we were talking about
Put this shit on loop!
whether or not
It is.
I was trying to give Adam the cue without letting them know what the song was going to
Turn
be.
up again. Turn up again. Turn
That
again.
it was
Just turn
a
it up. I gotta
theme?
hear it again. Thank you.
And so it's the theme to Benny Hill, and the song was called Yakety Sax.
Yeah, that's Yakety Sax, baby.
Don't talk back.
Wow, so Kevin spent a lot of time listening to that song.
No, because it basically is just like, it's fucking Scooby-Doo is what it is. It's
Pretty
like,
sure
pretty
AFV
much.
used to use that too
Yeah.
for a lot of their clips, and it was perfect.
no, it's like you're running away from the boyfriend. You're like going indoors and everything and
Yeah.
chasing after
Yeah,
you.
you're gonna die, but it's kind of funny. One of those things. Yeah.
Find the humor in life.
There was a switch in your list, Adam, though, to get that in there.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to share with the class what your song was going to be.
Don't do this to me.
Do it to him. Put him
I
on
mean,
blast.
we could go on.
We're
All
live.
right. You have it on.
It's
are
not
you gonna
queued
play
up.
it?
No, it's
Oh,
not
you're
queued
gonna
up.
play
No.
it? Oh, you know me. I'm like the king of randomness. I just love just random stuff that makes no sense whatsoever.
Sure.
It's funny to me. Everyone else is probably just going to sit there and go, "What the hell are you thinking? What the hell is going on?"
Mom jeans.
Oh, man.
Mom Jeans, yeah. The Titanic theme song with Celine Dion was I was going to play.
My heart will go on. Yeah.
No,
so,
okay, no, that would be what, like, on Facebook the next... Like on the next morning, someone who filmed it like puts that over it on Facebook
Yeah.
the next morning. You're
Even
just
more,
like,
even more so, like take it even a step further. Not even the Celine Dion version, the one where the dude's playing like the recorder and it's like cracking and he can't even hit the notes. I want that one to be played. If you could find that on YouTube, oh my god. So
Jesus.
yes, that was that.
That's a good one.
But I subtracted it because Benny Hill's like a knockout. You just
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't. Yeah, so you
It's,
can't
it's
just-
universal, baby.
Yep.
Well done.
My one that didn't make the cut that was going to be in War's spot was Duel of the Fates from the first Star Wars movie. The
Oh, that's a good one. That's a serious. That's a serious
I
song.
think it would have been like
That's,
really
That's really serious. Like that's death. Like fight to the death.
just someone's getting cut in half. Like there's like actual lightsabers on the bathroom floor.
I had an honorable mention too. It's actually Big Bad John by Jimmy Dean.
The Sausage King.
Yes, him.
That guy.
Jimmy Dean
And
sausage.
it's actually
right? Yeah.
this is actually just an ad for Jimmy Dean.
Right?
Start
Sponsor
your
us.
morning with a nice breakfast sandwich. That's
Sponsor us,
frozen.
please.
it's called the Big Bad John, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. This is an actual song, and there's a fighter for the Syracuse Crunch back in the day. His name was John Baduke, and they always used to play this song after he got in a fight, and inevitably won because he was an animal. One time, a fan pissed him off, and he climbed over the penalty box boards, went into the crowd, and beat the shit out of the guy.
Excellent.
So
All
this is an
for-
ode to John Baduke,
All
Excellent.
for
the only guy who
AHL
has
hockey,
his number
baby.
retired
Respect.
Damn.
for the Syracuse Crunch.
Damn, son.
That would have been a good fight song.
How do you miss your cue?
I was ready for it, but then Adam jumped in.
Hi. Off the rails.
Welcome to Off the Rails. There will never be another era of rap like the 90s. What say you?
So it makes me want to fight.
No, so like that's absolutely true, and it's got to be from the fact that it's just the production has gotten so accessible that now I have the studio tricked out to be able to make beats myself. I shouldn't be able to do that, and I shouldn't be able to so easily get it into other people's ears. Where in the past it was a producer would actually have to sit down and try to make something, and it would take time because they couldn't just click a couple of buttons and see the pretty lights on their screen start blinking. If it was going to come back around and be as creative as it was in the 90s, I think that people would have to go back to using real instruments for hip hop, and I don't think that's going to happen.
It's definitely not. No, I think that's a big part of it is just the entire attitude around recording. I think the closest that I've seen is Dreamville and how intense they like hold their meetings. Like we were talking about their latest album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. I think, you know what I mean, they said we're going to take 2 weeks in a studio and just go ham. You know what I mean? Or 10 days, whatever it was. And they invited all these other rappers out, and they took it seriously. And they had the best producers, or a lot of the best producers in the game. You know, they're making stuff live, and everyone was just inspired, and everything was creative there, right there, at that moment. Like not a lot of people, they said, brought rhymes with them. It was in the moment. They'd hear a beat, get inspired, boom. It was like a system.
Yeah.
And I just don't think you get that a lot anymore because it's one guy sitting in his room. Just making a beat quick and he sends it over and then somebody hears it. You're still inspired by it, but I think there's just an energy in the room that's created that makes it that much better when it's all happening at once.
Well, a lot of it doesn't even sound like there's a human element to it anymore. Like everything is so, on the beat. There's no human error. There's no like, a little like snare hit a little bit off of the beat or something. It's so, literally programmed now that
who's playing the keyboard anymore or the piano? You know, there's none of that even.
I'm sitting next to an Akai MPK Mini on the desk, and I feel like that for people that even have an idea of I want to make a beat. These things are all over the place. They're being resold. eBay, different apps, they're all over because people just buy them thinking they're going to be the next big producer, and then they give up because, oh, well, I couldn't figure out how to use that. Well, yeah, because you probably didn't have any musical knowledge ahead of time. So, and I think this all started really, I'm going to point the finger at Soulja Boy again. Because
wait, when did you point it at him in the first place?
Well,
back when he was talking about Fruit Loops Studio.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was
or Fruit Loops? It wasn't
Fruity Loops. It was Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Soulja Boy used that to make Crank That in 2008, 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think it was around there.
And he was like 15, 16 years old. Massive one-hit, should have been one-hit wonder, I guess. He still charted "Kiss Me Through the Phone" and a couple other songs. Yeah.
Get silly.
Pretty Boy Swag. Get Silly was a VIC song.
Oh,
VIC.
Yeah. But VIC also from Wobble.
Get Silly.
Okay.
But Soulja Boy was, I feel like, the one that set the tone for that. And then I think that's the reason that you get things like Old Town Road, and this is for lost material now from things that we tried when we were tuning up season 2. But Old Town Road was produced by someone who sold the beat to Lil Nas X for $35 online. $35.
It's a worthy investment.
And Lil Nas X made the song in a day using that beat. So I don't know how the laws work now on royalties for that sort of thing, and I don't know what kind of agreement there was on the website where Lil Nas X found that beat. But if a producer is able to then make the longest running #1 single of all time simply in a way that they sell for $35, then I feel like it's not coming back to anything creative anytime soon, because of the fact that the dollar is going to rule over creativity every time. So the 90s, and there was the influential producers of someone like, obviously, Dr. Dre on the West Coast side, and then the RZA for Wu-Tang. It's stuff that was emulated quite a bit after that. But a lot of it was complicated enough now where the producers today don't even try. So they just take a sample of another song, warp it, make it sound all spacey, add the trap little hi-hat stuff, the clicks and pops, and then they call it a day, and every song sounds
It's a
the same.
formula. I mean, we talked about that before. It's a formula, it's unfortunate because I think producers don't really have the ability to be as creative because I know it's not going to sell. And unfortunately, they have to plug in that hi-hat bullshit.
Yeah, find a catchy couple like notes and then just repeat the shit out of it.
Right. Well, do you guys feel like it was the sampling that caused this problem in the first place? Just for the fact that someone like Dr. Dre was using a lot of George Clinton stuff. Do you think that paved the way
As
to
you should.
this by just
No,
copying?
I think it might have led into it in terms of copying, but I think people back in the 90s especially were more concerned with just making an entire work of art.
Yeah.
That was more. I don't even know. I think it was just centered around something creative and original. Original is the word I was looking for. I just think everything was more. They took pride in not stealing a flow, a cadence, lyrics, this or that from other people.
Being
and now
unique.
it's like,
Right.
yeah, exactly. And now it's collaboration's great, and I think the feature like heavy 2010s, or early 2010s, late 2000s. I think that kind of like was great for the collaborative nature of rap. But now everything after that era has just been
When you say
completely
Yep.
unoriginal.
when you say the feature stuff, do you mean like when DJ Khaled was putting like 8 rappers onto one song, or what?
That or like a lot of ASAP Mob stuff where they would get, different artists, Schoolboy Q or
Well, I think it was. I mean, that kind of thing goes all the way back to Sugar Hill Gang, and then I mean NWA or Wu-Tang and all that. Like the collaborative stuff has been around for quite a while. I feel like it's a cycle that I think is more indicative of how pop music hasn't come up with a new genre in a while. Like people can say that hip hop has evolved and, oh, you don't like this new hip hop just because you like the old hip hop. Well, there's something to be said for the fact that the older hip hop artists have been able to survive for decades now and still be in pop culture. And truthfully, knowing that the theme for this episode was bar fights, there was a song that I wanted to use on my list that was a Redman song that just came out recently. That I think it's called "Slap the Shit Out You."
Yeah, slap the shit out you. That's what it is. Yep.
And yeah, when we get a break in the show, I'm going to show you guys the video. But it's like Redman. He's all gray and everything. He looks old now, but he can still make a song that's getting millions of views on YouTube. And it's because of some kind of existing talent that's different from everyone else. Whereas when I go and I just throw on a playlist of stuff now that's in the hip hop portion of Apple Music, or now I jumped on Spotify this weekend because I didn't realize I could listen to Spotify while playing on my Xbox.
That's yep. That's it. Yep.
How
But
do you hear footsteps when you're playing games and you have Spotify on?
well, that's all I play left is Rocket League. That's all I really play anymore.
That's all he has left.
And yeah, that's all I have left in my life is Rocket League. But so for me, it's like when I'm going through those sections, I don't even know who I'm listening to. Even if I go through it a bunch of different times, like how many people right now have baby in their name? Because isn't there like Da Baby and something like Bad Baby?
Lil
and
Baby, Bad Baby, Baby.
Baby. That's an Amy Grant song.
What?
From like 1992.
Knowledge drop.
Boss
that's what I'm here
Baby,
for.
YG
Boss
Baby.
Baby.
Boss Baby and Alec
OG
Baldwin
Baby.
vehicle.
Yes.
Baby, can't you see?
Sometimes, yeah. Your words.
Isn't that a Justin Bieber song too?
I just feel like there's a competitiveness too that just isn't existent really. It's like
Well, a lot of it
everyone's
used
really
to be gang
complacent with
warfare.
being,
Literal gang warfare. Yeah.
and that was a lot of the 90s. There was a lot of the 90s was I don't want to say just gang war. It was hostile.
I mean, the two
I'm gonna
biggest
attack you.
figures were
Yes.
both killed, and it was because of the gang warfare stuff. But
Right. Yeah. And I don't want to go back to that harmful type of rap. the competitive nature in terms of I want to be the best. I feel like there's not many artists that are striving to be the best. And if you're not striving to be the best, then you can make your money, but you're not going to stay in the game. And that's fine. But I just, the competitive nature, like you said, NWA.
Yeah.
Every single time they went to make a song, they wanted to have the hottest verse on that song.
Right.
So that pushed them all to be better.
And there was like a mystique to it that had something to do, honestly, with the gang. So like, it was that there's this unknown element to the people that were behind the music, and they seemed, kind of intriguing. And I don't know if intriguing was the right way to think about those people, given the fact that Tupac and Biggie were both killed. But you don't really like. I don't see one of these young guys now and think like this guy's going to be around for a long time. I honestly can't name anybody other than the obvious ones, like a Kendrick Lamar, or a
J. Cole.
Yeah, you say J. Cole, but I feel like J. Cole's going to burn out too, because
Has Lamar dropped anything recently?
not in the past year, but like he can.
April of 2017.
As soon as he drops something again, that it's going to be a bestseller. And there isn't people that are like 1A, 1B. Like, there's not people that are on the same tier. There's just not. There's just all these people at the bottom that have what will then be a one-hit wonder. But right now, everyone's like, oh, no. Well, the data from Billboard that's all skewed because of the way they do the streaming now is what paints that picture to make it look like those rappers are being so successful. But it's just long term. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see people listening to Da Baby and Lil Nas X
Boss
10
Baby.
years from now.
I
It's just not.
Don't forget Boss Baby.
I just miss Crazy Kanye. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still
I miss
crazy.
saying
He's like, he's just gone crazy. He's gone. Like,
Yeah.
I just miss Crazy Kanye. That's all.
Yeah, that last album put me over the edge on. Next time something comes out, I honestly am not going to be like, okay, cool, I will give it a shot.
It's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, like he got one track on this most recent album that was listenable to me. And
I will 1000% listen to that album. Kanye is not anywhere near his prime anymore, but I will say one of the best producers of all time.
yeah, but
The
you
way
like
you talk
this
about
past
sampling,
one?
no,
Oh,
don't
okay.
get me wrong, it wasn't good at all. It was awful. But for the sake of history of rap hip hop producers, I think he's easily up there towards the top. His use of sampling, still to this day,
Yeah.
if you listen to some of those
Yeah.
Sunday service things he does, say what you want about it personally. I'm just talking about his music.
Right.
He's that shit slaps, bro. Like that shit's tight. Like
Yeah.
he uses samples better than I think any artist I've ever heard. And
You're
that-
definitely right.
Say what you want, but like he could go to a record store, pull out 3 albums randomly from that no one's ever heard of, listen to them all, and then get back to you within one day with the tightest shit you've ever heard. And
Yep.
there's not many people that can do that.
Yeah, but the issue being that he doesn't want to use it for popular music anymore. He wants to use it for his message, and his message is different every damn time. And to go from "you're such a fucking hoe, I love it," to like a year and a half later, being like, "No, I am here for God and for Jesus, and that's it." But the only thing that Kanye could make at this point that I think would be something I'm into is if they finally get around to the Kids See Ghosts second album. But
Gotta bounce these ghosts.
Him and Cudi.
we must bounce these
Bounce
ghosts.
these ghosts.
You're friggin' toast.
No, but getting back to the '90s, I think there was a mystique about the entire era, and I think it was partially because there were so many characters. There was just so many characters in the '90s, like
Yeah.
with legitimate personalities. Not let me plug into this industry for a year or two and then fizzle out. That's all that's been happening. There was legitimate characters that had legitimate talent too, and I mean, music is entertainment too. So if you can look the way that a lot of the 90s rappers looked and then also rap as tight as they rapped, or did whatever they did that was so great, it was just a different time, and I don't think you have that multidimensional talent as much anymore.
Command, we're looking out here. We got looks like a bogey of some kind. Brendan, what do you see out there?
Yeah, I have visual. It looks like a stove.
Houston, can you get confirmation on? I think it is a stove.
Looks like a stove.
Oh my God! Is that?
This stove's coming in hot.
Oh my God, so hot! It's a rocket stove. Where's it from, Brendan?
It's from Paul's. You got a rocket stove from Paul's inbound.
Oh my God. .com.
Go fast, eat fast. Paul's rocket stoves. Ka-chow.
Paul's Rocket Stoves are handmade outdoor cooking appliances that run on renewable biofuel. For more details and ordering information, visit paulsrocketstoves.com.
And we're back from a particularly fight-centric episode, I would say. Lots of contention. Adam claims he won. I don't know if that's true.
I'm very peaceful.
Apparently. Okay. So, at this point, let's give you some picks of the week, something we've been jamming on recently. Kyle, I'm going to send it out west to you, man. What do you got for the people?
So this is actually big news for anyone that really knows me and my musical tastes. And I'm not really happy about it, but I felt like I had to air my grievances here first. And this song, called A Pirate Looks at 40, which is originally a Jimmy Buffett song,
Thank you for at least saying that.
was performed at the Kokua Festival in like 2008 by one of my favorite artists of all time, Jack Johnson. And unfortunately, Dave Matthews.
So wait, Jack Johnson and Dave Matthews?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
And
Basic pop.
yeah.
Have fun with that, Pop.
And for anyone who knows me, I have gone years and years of saying I cannot stand Dave Matthews and his awful voice.
DMB.
You changed, man. You moved
Don't
out
get
to
me
California.
wrong.
You changed, man.
Don't get me wrong. I love his band. His band is a wonderfully talented group of individuals that play together in a band gracefully.
Good drummer.
And then, unfortunately, Dave Matthews opens his mouth. That's always been my shtick. But I heard this song again recently. I was listening to a lot of Jack Johnson, went through some of his live stuff, found this album again, and I don't know. Something's changed in me, and I've started to listen
Something's
to,
changed
a little
in
bit of
me.
Something has changed
Dave
within
Matthews.
me. Anyway, my pick of the week is
So this
Wicked.
is my announcement.
All right, well. this is a
Anyways, it's a really, really good song.
Okay.
Please listen to it. The whole album is actually really good. It's a lot of live music, and it's all live music, but it shows a lot of Jack Johnson's greatest hits in it live, which are always better than the studio version, almost always. And,
I
it's got a lot
disagree
of,
with
Eddie
Jack
Vedder
Johnson.
is at the festival.
Yeah,
and,
but
some other
Jack
big
Johnson, I feel like his live recordings, because he doesn't have the best voice. I feel like his live recordings aren't as good as the studio ones for that reason.
names. I'm not
like-
there for the voice.
Well, right, but I'm saying like for the enjoyment of it, for me it was always like you can't hear his guitar as much in the live stuff as you could on the studio one. That's why I say that, because you're not listening for his voice, like you said. But
Well, the Kokua Festival is excellently mixed. Excellently? Is that
I
a-
could
Yeah, that's a
make
word.
excellent
That's a
an
word.
adverb?
Yeah,
that's good,
I wasn't able to get the a real crisp version of that song.
Quisp.
But I was more alarmed that we were talking about a Jimmy Buffett classic.
I like Jack Johnson.
With
Doesn't
Dave-
he sing Your Body is a Wonderland?
Nope. That's
No, that's
I think he knows this.
Okay.
That's
What?
John Mayer.
John Mayer.
Okay.
I haven't actually. I will say, if anyone ever has an opportunity for me to see Jack Johnson anywhere near their city, please contact me because I will pay a lot of money at this point because I've tried to see him since I was in middle school.
Damn.
And this dude is so fucking evasive, man. He won't post that he's going anywhere until like the last
evasive.
second.
Isn't he from
And
Southern California
anytime-
though?
No, I believe he's from Hawaii.
Well,
Almost
closer,
positive.
Closer
he
than
used
we
to be a
are.
professional surfer. Yeah, I'm pretty close to Hawaii. So, but nonetheless, he's always touring in like Japan or some shit. So,
Okay.
come stateside, buddy, and I'll pay $1,000 to see you.
Leave it to Kyle to create conflict in the bar fight episode on the part of the episode. It's not supposed to be conflict. God, DMP.
With a song by Jack Johnson and Dave Matthews.
and Dave Matthews, right?
Yeah,
Goddamn.
it's angry music.
Angry music. All right, then I'm gonna change it up. Then I'm gonna bring it to me. Then so this one is a Spotify stumble upon by me from about 2 years ago. This is the band Black Nuss with the song Bullseye.
And this is exactly what I was saying when I said you're into that funk sound.
Oh sure, yeah.
And so is this a current band?
Hard to say because we were trying to figure it out earlier. Black Nuss. So this is unintentionally a deep cut.
Wait, what's the name of the band?
Black.
I'm sorry.
NUSS, I'm hoping.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I'm right there with you, Kyle.
BLACKNUSS.
Right there with you, Kyle.
So this band.
Skype's doing some weird shit with the audio, so I
Yeah.
had to check in on that.
Yeah, it's Black Nuss, and it's so this is unintentionally a deep cut because I stumbled upon this on. I literally think it was just a Spotify playlist. It was like Funky Jams or something like that. It was some generic
Funky
name.
Jams Volume 3.
Funky Jams for your jam session with the funk and stuff or whatever. So I think the song's a fucking jam. I think it's great. And
That made me want to dance.
so yeah, right.
Yeah, I kinda
And
wanna-
it gives you that vibe. It just makes you want to move. And so this band is Norwegian / Scandinavian. I didn't know this. I had no idea. Apparently, they were active in the '90s, had a few hits in Scandinavia, and then went into hibernation, I guess.
I like the sound.
And then came back recently and released some new stuff. So again, a Spotify stumble upon. I couldn't even find a music video for this thing. But I love the sound. The last time I played it in here, James, was that one time when Momo Money and I were cooking in your kitchen.
Ah, I do remember that.
That was one of my jams that I
Okay.
put on. Yep. So that's the last time I heard.
We got to get her in the studio again.
Soon we will. All right, hi man. I'm
already
gonna send it to
tired
you
of me.
then. What do you got?
Okay, all right. So this will actually piggyback off of what we were talking about with hip hop in the 90s. This is not a song from the 90s. This is a current song, and it is a current rapper, but it's actually someone who's been around for about 10 years, and it's someone by the name of XV. The song is One of the Dreamers. Kyle, you heard of XV?
I haven't.
Okay, I'm actually kind of upset with you over this because
Again, there's nothing but conflict this episode. What's going on?
well, that was the name of it, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
exactly.
XV, a rapper that's been around for about 10 years, but people that have been sleeping on him, it's kind of hard to understand why, because when he came in, he's actually done his career like in reverse. He's done songs with Kanye, Cudi, Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar, but they were all in like 2009, 10, and 11.
Then
So-
I've definitely heard something because I swear I've heard every single Kendrick anything he's ever released.
Okay, well, it was a mixtape that Kendrick was on that was from 2011. And
Possible still.
when XV first broke into the scene, he was working with a producer called The Awesome Sound. And after they stopped working together, I think that's when the dip happened. But this song, One of the Dreamers, came up on Apple Music for me not too long ago. And great song, great production. He's another person that tells a great story. He sampled Biggie for Pictures on the Wall, which was part of, I think, the same mixtape that I was just referencing, but it was either from 2010 or 2011. A lot of stuff that I would recommend checking out by XV, a lot of high-quality production, a lot of catchy stuff, and he is someone with the charisma and the ability to tell a story, so highly recommended with that song.
XV, you sure it's not 15?
He does refer to himself as XV. Thank you for asking. All right, Poop
I don't
Brown
know. The
over
Super
here.
Bowl does
Poop
some
Brown.
stupid shit, so
Poop Brown over here for the last pick of the
Mr.
week.
Poop Brown here.
Mr. Poop Brown.
All right, so
Mr. Poop Brown.
Mr. Poop
Poop Brown.
All right, so you told me, like, what do you listen to? What are you jamming out to? And, I kind of thought about it for a while. And,
Is it Yakety Sax again?
no.
No, it's Yakety Yak.
Yakety
Don't talk back.
I mean, Benny Hill is a classic. So, the last 2 weeks, you had a lot of stuff coming out. So you have, like, Eminem dropping a surprise album.
Yeah.
You got Lil Wayne dropping an album.
Yeah, what
you
the
got
hell?
You got the Gorillaz releasing a single, which was pretty cool.
I just learned that.
And so, like, there's a lot of cool stuff that's kind of been coming out the last couple months, but I am going with a timeless classic. It is Green Day, Longview. Just timeless freaking classic song.
This sucker doesn't work. I'm on the wrong fader. That's why. Hey guys, remember how I used to DJ?
And I've been going on a kick of like all of my like childhood songs.
Yeah.
This was like the first CD I ever bought.
Really?
I got a bass guitar because I wanted to play the bass line. The first time I ever heard the F word in a song is
The first time I ever heard the F word in a fuck song.
Anytime I heard the F word in a song, this song. So a lot of we're going back to that. A lot of firsts. So that song is timeless to me. I'm
Nice,
jamming
man.
out to it. I like it. It makes me smile. It makes me happy.
Good.
I like it.
I'm glad it
Never
still brings
get
you joy, man.
Never get tired of that song.
Well, Adam,
Speaking of fucks and Green Day, sorry to cut you off, James, but the NHL All-Star Game featured Green Day, and it was televised over NBC, and Green Day slipped in
Ripped an
F
F-bomb? Yes!
Whoa.
3
Wow.
F-bombs
3.
on NBC telecast.
hat trick.
I'm
Yep,
sure
that's a
he
hat
They
trick.
got a hat
So
trick.
there's-
I got a fuck trick
They
on
did.
that one.
They got a fuck trick.
Fuck trick.
Okay. Well, Adam, I
We're
would
three deep.
I would recommend. We were in an episode that we recorded for the county/state fair playlist soundtrack, if you will, talking a little bit about how for like cookout playlist every summer, I put on classic rock and that sort of thing, things that reminded me when I was young, because that was what my dad was listening to. But I decided this year for my cookout playlist, I was gonna go with not quite Green Day, but like late '80s, early '90s, things like Motley Crue and stuff like that. So I totally get you on that wavelength, but I wasn't ever really a Green Day fan, so I can't
Loser.
co-sign that one. No, I that's right. I was more of a Beck fan than a Green Day fan. Thank you for reminding me of the song "Loser," Kyle. I appreciate you reminding me about the song titled "Loser."
Zing. He's
Those-
twirling his hair right now. We have to drink.
Those 4 picks and our playlist from today are going to be available on Spotify, Spotify, under 3 Deep Podcast.
Yep.
And you can find more information about our interests on our social media. Kyle, give a rundown real quick for us, please.
We're on Twitter at We Are 3 Deep. We are on Instagram at 3D Podcast, all spelled out. And then again, like James said, we will be on Spotify, 3D Podcast. Just get over there, and we'll start posting some of our episode playlists and all that.
All right, so we want to say thank you again to Root Shock Music on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff. Check them out at rootshockmusic.com. And Sugar Free Beats at Sugar Free Beats on SoundCloud and Instagram. Kevin, you got anything else? Insta-dang. Adam, thanks for being here with us today. We hope we can get you on again soon.
Do better.
It was my pleasure.
All right, so for all of us in the studio, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Insta-dang. Good on you. Oh, there's no kidney stones.